Hi everyone, thank you all for joining. I'm happy we could set a time where we could all get together and meet for Jill Ross's IEP. First, I wanted to take a minute to go around the table and introduce yourselves. I know most of you know me, but I'm Sydney Bowen, and I am her special education teacher. And let's move on to our parent. Go ahead, Sherry. All right, let's get started. Jerry, can you go ahead and take notes for us during this meeting that we can look back on and see anything that we need to go over? All right, first, I wanted to start off with some meeting norms. I wanted to just re-emphasize that everything that is said in this meeting is confidential. We're going over some sensitive information, and it's just none of anybody else's business, so let's really be sure to keep what's said at this meeting in this meeting. Also, everybody here has a really crucial role in our IEP team, so be sure to be respectful to all those talking. And when someone's talking, please allow them to finish completely. That way we don't miss out on any details and everybody feels heard. I want to touch on the fact that we're all here and we all see Jill from different perspectives. So as we're listening, please try to be able to place yourself in that member's shoes and see the perspective they are talking from. And then we can address any questions or concerns we have once they're finished. We are here to discuss Jill Ross's IEP, and also it's time for her reeval, so we'll be going over that today. I wanted to start today by addressing our state assessment. I understand that so far Jill hasn't participated in any state assessments because as the parent you've opted out. I totally understand that. As far as graduation speaking, Jill is required to participate in WA-AIM, which is an adjusted state test for our students, and she'll have to do this her 10th and 11th grade school year. It is a graduation requirement, and are there any questions on that before moving on? We also sent home an assessment regarding Jill's transition to life after school, and I thought it would be a good time to go over some of the details that you gave us, and we can discuss any feedback and kind of start looking to set a plan up for her and her transition. That's something we kind of get a chance to look forward to as we enter high school, and Jill being a 9th grader, we get to start talking about. So personally, I get to work with Jill quite a bit. I love having her in class. Her strengths for sure are how artistic she is. She'll sit there and she really likes to use the Chromebook and look up a video and then pause on different frames and draw pictures. And it's just incredible to see how detailed she is in her drawings. You can tell exactly where the movie or what movie her drawings came from and almost identify exactly which part of the movie. So I think that's a really cool skill that Jill has. Another thing I wanted to touch on was how great of manners she has. She's always sure to say please or thank you at the end of her phrases. And I think this is really commendable, especially for you guys as parents. Even though we know she doesn't verbally speak in full sentences all the time, we do get to hear these manners, and that just really stands out to me. A couple concerns would just be in behavior and emotional areas. We've been seeing her show a little bit more anxiety in the classroom, as far as when she starts to. Jill has a variety of needs that we've been seeing and doing our best to meet in the classroom. One of the main ones I see is being able to identify her emotions and coming up with some type of coping strategy to help her be able to function at a higher level or even just be more relaxed in the classroom. Something I would like to see as of right now, she is 100% in our classroom in special education, and I would love to set a goal for in the future trying to increase her coping skills and her coping strategies to help her be able to branch out into an elective that's offered here at the high school. I think a great elective option would be an art class. We have lots of different ones, such as have lots of different opportunities, such as photography, drawing, ceramics, even, and I think these would really suit her and help her flourish her artistic ability. All right, before moving on, I wanted to open the floor if you guys had any questions or concerns about how the school year is going so far, how we kind of operate in the classroom. Go ahead. Next, let's talk about her present level of ability. First, let's discuss her written expression. So, she often seems frustrated when it comes to writing. We have different interventions in the classroom to help her cope. We do a lot of abstract writing or models with clear instructions. These things really help her be more successful. One of our focuses right now is her personal information. This will really help her function as she goes out into society. She would be able to know her personal information, and if there was ever a situation where she was filling out a job application or needed to get some help from someone and share her phone number. Needed to share her phone number with someone to receive help. These would be crucial for her to know in these situations. Any questions there? In math, her previous IEP goals included math skills such as recognizing shapes. She's been able to do this with no problem. She has really shown her ability to know numbers 0 to 20. We're going to shift this looking at money. When we have been presenting her with coins, she's able to identify them, sort them. One thing I've noticed is she knows what each coin's worth, and so we want to build on this. I think she's ready to start practicing making purchases. So we want to use a dollar up strategy to have Jill recognize if she's able to buy something or not with a given budget. So this is kind of where we plan to go from here with her maths. Adaptive PE, she's done great. Whenever we ask if she's ready to go, she says, yes, please. And in PE, she participates with what she's being asked to do. I think it's just a matter of strengthening and continuing this positive behavior. We are being able to do the activities that are being asked, but now we just want to increase the skill level. Instead of just asking her to do something, we want to move into two-step directions and then having her be able to follow through with that. Is there anything further that you're looking for Jill to get out of her PE? Jill is continuing to work on communication. This is one of the areas that we really want to focus on. She is very good at phrasing or short phrasing what she needs, but we want to practice her work on these in full sentences. So we've been giving her some sentence starters, and we're going to continue to grow with improving our usage of these sentence starters and having Jill use them to help support her in making complete sentences to ask for her requests. At home, are there any specific phrases or ways of asking for help that you guys use or would like to use in the future? When discussing Jill's social and emotional behavior abilities, this is an area we really want to focus on. I think this area is kind of holding her back from keeping her from getting outside of your special education classroom and branching further into being able to take those art classes that we discussed earlier, and preparing her for her future transition after school. We notice high level of anxiety, which I'm sure we've seen at home. Can you give us an example of what some of her anxiety can look like at home? I just want to kind of pair and see if we're seeing the same trends. So that sounds pretty similar. One thing that we really see a lot of is a quick no thank you or help please. And we see this and then we'll be like, no, Jill can do it. And Jill does it no problem after put that little push. So she's got some learned helplessness there. And we want to focus on that and see if instead of just no thank you, we can see if we branch out to identify the emotions that are making us feel like we can't do something, and then coming up with some strategies to work through this. Currently in the classroom, we've been working with the curriculum zones of regulation and just identifying different emotions and how they can make us feel. And slowly we're going to be moving into strategies to help us overcome and push through these different zones. In discussing Jill's adaptive abilities, she's able to do a lot of basic needs on her own. She gets ready to go on her own with, a prompt that, oh, it's time to go. And then she's able to get up, get her things, and pack up without any issue. Throughout the day, she can get her Chromebook. She's almost gotten to the point where she can log on completely by herself, which that has been a great accomplishment. One area that we've seen some struggling with is when it comes to going to the bathroom. And we wanted to ask you for a little bit of input. What are her bathroom habits like at home? What support is she getting? How can we best support her in the bathroom with her needs? That input will be so beneficial. We'll for sure try to follow what you guys do because that's what she's familiar with. And so I think especially with her anxiety and just making sure she feels comfortable, because that's always a situation that's very sensitive. So that input is great, and thank you for sharing. Since we've gone through each section, I would like to know and hear if you have any additional input. I want to kind of open the floor to you guys as parents and also to all other members of the team. What kind of input do you have or anything to add? That input will be so beneficial. We'll for sure try to follow what you guys do because that's what she's familiar with. And so I think especially with her anxiety and just making sure she feels comfortable, because that's always a situation that's very sensitive. So that input is great, and thank you for sharing. Since we've gone through each section, I would like to know and hear if you have any additional input. I want to kind of open the floor to you guys as parents and also to all other members of the team. What kind of input do you have or anything to add? I wanted to touch on real quickly an extended school year. I know with COVID, it kind of impacted Jill's schooling quite a bit. I know she wasn't at school and she was doing off-site learning. And so with that being said, she is eligible for an extended school year. What are your guys' thoughts on that? I feel like it's so important for parents and other stakeholders to feel like an active part of the team, but especially parents, because parents are with their child more than we ever are. From birth. So if anybody knows a child, it is their parent. And with that being said, I think opening the floor and asking them directly questions throughout the IEP meeting will help them be able to share and feel open to share their thoughts, needs, and concerns throughout a meeting.